financial management system, we are talking about a structured and repeatable habits, tools, processes that you use to handle money intentionally so that it serves you instead of what? Controlling you. Our money, how do we add value that we store it down into the future and we don't spend it? We need to be self-disciplined. Self-discipline doesn't require external supervision. So just like the ants, they have no commander, they have no king, they have no president, they have no ruler. By psychologically, they don't need an external person to tell them how nature works. Saving is the act of not consuming part of your income right away. So you can use it later for what? Security. When we say security, I'm not talking about going to hire a security guard to come and protect you. No. The security here is financial security. It means that a time will come, what you have saved, what you have invested is what is going to take care of you in time of need, in time of want. Savings is not an investment. Saving is keeping and protecting it. Savings is important, it's needed so that you can have money to do what? To do investments. It's not about how plenty money you make. It's about what you keep. So if you make 100,000 and somebody is making 10,000, at the end of the day, what matters is what each of them will keep. No matter how much money you make, it is important you keep some. So it's not about how much money you get, but it's about how much money you do what? You spend. Many believe that their income is too small to save and invest. So the real issue is usually the mindset. You need to move from my income is too small to save. Welcome to Eyramax YouTube studio. Today we are embarking on the third episode of the 4 financial management system that you need to master. It is very important we have to treat this topic to educate ourselves. We want our viewers to be more abreast about how to make money, how to protect it, how to save it, how to multiply it, and how to also spend it wisely. So today, topic under this episode, the third episode or part 3 of today's topic is on savings and protection system. Savings and protection system. We intentionally did not treat it like how other people have been treating on finance. Mostly people treat income, they treat spending, then they lastly talk about savings. But we treated income and investments, and now we are treating savings. I intentionally treat it in this form so that when you receive your income, the first thing that should come into your mind is to do what? Is to do investment. Then investment and savings, they work together. But in this episode, managing the aspect of savings is different from investment. So we see the differences. So last week or in the last previous episode, we treated what? Investment and growth. Investment and growth. Today we are treating savings and protection system. Just a quick recap. So when we say financial management system, we are talking about a structured and repeatable habits, tools, processes that you use to handle money intentionally so that it serves you instead of what? Controlling you. So if you master, like the definition, the core pillars in the financial management system, 1, you need to have a structured system of when the money comes, it will pass through. Then 2, you need to use tools, tracking tools, tools that you use to measure your spending. You measure your what? Investment. You measure your savings. So you need to use tools. Then processes, how the money, the stages the money will be passing through, the strategic ways, the strategic method, all these things you need to do what? Understand them and master them. Then how to use it. Now, you need to have an intentional way of what? Spending. So when we say intentional, you need to be aware, you need to be conscious that, okay, as this money comes, This is the amount of money I'm spending. This is the amount of money I'm saving. And this is the money I'm protecting. Paying yourself first are all part of what? Intentionality. Then, if you put all these things in place, the money is not supposed to control you. How does money control you? As soon as the money comes, it tells you, or psychologically, you have that, okay, you feel that goodness within you that, okay, now money has come. I need to spend it. I need to buy this. I need to buy this. When the salary now hits inside your account, that is when you begin to know the things you do not have. It just happens like a video has been played to you. You don't have this, you don't have this, you need this, you need it, you need to buy this. That is how it happens. So if you do not have structured system, methods, strategies, tools, processes to work and put you into control, put you into check, before you realize the money that has come into the account will end up what? Controlling you. So like we said, this 4 financial management system goes beyond a budget. So what is the framework of this 4 financial management system? 1 is to earn. You have to, when you earn it, you have to protect it. You need to learn how to grow the money you have gotten over a period of time. Then you need to what? Lastly, know how you spend the rest that you have. But other people teach that you make the money, you spend it, then you invest the rest that you have. No. Our teachings is saying that, or what we are teaching, or what I'm teaching is that you earn, you invest, you save, and what? You spend the rest. So now let's dive into the topic. Now, as we talk about the topic, when you want to really talk about savings, it means that you have mastered what? Income. So you need to get what it takes to make money. You need to know or get, you need to acquire what it takes to do what? To attract money, to make money first. So when you make the money, what happens? So again, I'll read this scripture again. And it says in Matthew 25, verse 14 to 30, but I'll read just a few portions. Again, verse 14. Again, it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servant and entrusted his wealth to them again. To one he gave 5 bags of gold, to another 2 bags, and to another 1 bag, each according to his ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more. Verse 17. So also the one with 2 bags of gold gained 2 more. Then 18. But the one who had received 1 bag went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled account with them. So this passage along the line, we will be needing it. So it is very important I read it. What are the key areas in the passage that we've just read? Or before I even come to the key areas that I just read, or we go into the topic. In the morning when one of my camera guys, Paul, came to me, we were talking about how to make money. So in the money making, between the age of, let's say, 10 years, it is very important we begin to teach our children how to make money. The mistake some of us we went through is because of not knowing money, is because our parents do not know much about money. There is difference between being employed and earning money and what? Knowing how money works, understand where money is, understanding how to multiply money. Then just working for money and money is coming and you are spending it. So if you do not know the difference, you will be making the money all right, but at the end of the day, it end up what? Taking care of bills. Then it is finished. So it is very important we learn how to make money. Now, I was telling Paul that if decades is in 10 years, so when we say 1 decade, it means in a span of 10 years, if you do not learn how to make money and save money and invest money, before you realize, you end up spending all. So this is how it's supposed to be. In this decade, in these first 10 years, if you don't save money, if you don't make money and save money and multiply money to take care of the next decades that is coming. So in the second decade, the first decade, your money is supposed to do what? Is to take care of what? The second decade. Now, in the second decade, the money you are making, you have to learn how to also what? Multiply it so that it can take care of what? The third decade. So you realize that people grow up going through secondary school, finishing secondary school, going to the university, and they have spent like 10 decades and they have not made any good money, and they have not multiplied or invested any money into any money-making ventures to get money in return. So before you realize, they end up what? Spending hand to mouth. So it is very important that every decade you make money, you save money, and multiply money to take care of the next decades. So the people who find themselves in 20 to 30 years now, because when they were young, probably their parents did not help them to make money, they end up struggling in their 20s and 30s because that time they are still in school, they are still learning, and not even just learning about money, but they are learning other academical faculties, or they are learning how to become professionals in the health sector, in the engineering sector, in the agriculture sector, in the accounting sector, but they are not learning about how money is, what money is, how money works, how to multiply money. By the time they finish living their life in their 30s and now they are hitting 40, they begin to do what? Struggle. By then, children have come in, wife has come in, medical bills have come in, school fees has come in. So the little that comes have to do what? Take care of bills. So it is very important we start teaching our children from even from the age of 5, start teaching them what is asset, what is money, what the difference between asset and liability, what put money into your pocket, what takes money out of your pocket. So if you don't start teaching the children, you don't start introducing money to them. Now, when people dash their money, instead of them spending it on ice cream, toffee, they could do what? Start learning how to save with their piggy banks. So now it becomes a responsibility of you, the parents, to do what? To teach them how to do savings first. And that is today's topic. So what is savings? Savings, as far as salary is concerned, means that intentionally setting a portion of your regular salary instead of what? Spending it. So this salary, before it comes into your bank account, meaning that, or in other words, we call it take-home pay. After the tax has been deducted, after SNIT has been deducted, after your bank loan have been deducted, so the rest that comes, it is apportioning or putting aside a portion of what you have earned when all the deduction has been done. So this money is not part of the money you spend, which falls under management system, that is expenses management system. This money, I call it paying yourself first. This is the money you pay yourself first. You don't spend it, you protect it judiciously. It is money not for spending. It is money you pay yourself first before paying other people. When we say paying yourself first, it is money that is not meant for consumption, but it is money that you keep. So let's look at this in the scripture why it says that it is very important to save. Proverbs 21 verse 20 says that the wise stores up choice food and olive oil, but the fool grab theirs down. What it means is that the fools, when they get their food, instead of them storing some, they end up spending all. They think they live in the moment. So because they work in the moment they had it, they feel they have to do what? Spend it in that moment. The same applies to the 10 virgins. 5 was wise and 5 was foolish. The wise one, after filling their what? Their lantern, they did know what? They took some, they did not just forget that, okay, it is okay for a moment, but they stored some for the journey. But the foolish ones, after filling their lantern, they did what? They left the rest. They did not think about it getting finished and they needing it into the future. So savings is money that you keep for a later use, not immediate use. So another verse that put emphasis on storage, Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6 to 8. And this is what it says. Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provision in summer and gather its food at harvest. So this is what a wise book is telling us, that we should go to the ant and learn its ways. So the Bible is so smart that it picks certain animals in nature to teach us how to save. And ant is one of them. It stores its food in the summer. When the sun is hot, it is not raining, they could easily move, because you know the ant is very lightweight, is very tiny, so they do not like rain because the rain can easily carry them. So during the dry season, they tend to do what? Gather food, store food. They don't eat all that they've gotten. So that in the rainy season, they will go into their what? Their ant what? Hill. Or they will go into their various houses in the ground and hide. They are so wise that during the rainy season takes roughly 3 months to 5 months to be over. So in these 5 months, what do they eat? So in that 5 months, they will call it lean season. It's a season that, though it is raining all right, but they cannot do what? Produce food. They are not farmers. They depend on people farming. Then the leftover that we don't want, that we throw away, that is what they harvest. So they store up their food in summer that they will be needing during the rainy season, and they harvest during the what? During the harvest season. Or they gather during the harvest season. What are you gathering? How much are you paying yourself first? When that income hits into your account. So some quick lessons that I want us to, before we look at the quick lessons from these animals. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 2 also says that on the first day of every week, each one of you should set aside a lump sum in keeping with your what? Income. So this is a recommendation that Paul gave. And he even went further that saving it up so that when I come, no collection will have to be made. It is telling them that they should work. And when they work, they should store up some money down. They should save some money down. They should not spend all. Even the Bible is saying, so we Christians, these are the things that we should really master even than the worldly people. But the worldly people are even practicing what the Bible says even more than us. Some of us are out there and we fail to work. We feel that worshiping God is all about going to church and pray from morning to evening and not working, and God is going to feed you. How? So if you're out there, whether you're a Christian or not a Christian, step out there and go and work. Save some money, invest some money. Let's look at the key lessons. Number 1, we need to be self-disciplined. Self-discipline doesn't require external supervision. So just like the ants, they have no commander, they have no king, they have no president, they have no ruler. By psychologically, they don't need an external person to tell them how nature works. There are lean season, there are plenty season, abundance. So we have lean season and abundance season. A time that things will be scarce to get. A time that everything will finish. Then you now have to go to the what? To depend on what you have saved. So in abundance season, when things, a lot of food, I remember those days when my father used to do maize farm. After the maize dried up and we go and harvest in the farm, they will do a barn. We call it barn. And they will arrange the maize nicely and cover it with a thatch. That's the grass. So that during the rainy season, when it is now coming to start farming, now you will have to put the seed into the soil. As at that time, you cannot get maize. Maize is really scarce. So we have to go into our barn and do what? Take the maize that we stored up for the rainy season or the scarce season. So you don't need somebody to tell you that there's time that is hard time and there's time that is what? Plentiful. Wisdom can be learned by observing nature, not just through formal instruction. Even you yourself, there comes a time that you have plenty money. Then there comes a season to all the money that you've gotten, all vanishes, all evaporates into the air. You don't know what you used it for. You don't know what happened. All the money is finished. Even to get one CD or even to get $1 to do something, at the end of the day, you struggle with it. You do not have. So it is very important we know that there's what? Lean season and what? And there's plentiful season. Diligence means preparing for the future needs before they are urgent. That is storing. You need to store. You need to save. You need to put some money down. Timing matters. Timing matters a lot. When we say timing matters, what it's trying to tell you that there are seasons. There are lean season and there are bountiful season, or season of plenty and season of scarce, and season of planting, season of investing, season of multiplying, season of gathering, storing. So we need to understand timing. The ant gathers at harvest, acting when opportunity is available and not late. So when the opportunity comes and there are plenty bountifulness, we need to do what? We need to store. We need to gather. It goes down to everything, not just money. Let's say plantain season comes and it becomes bountiful. How do we process it and store it down so that it doesn't get rot? Mango, sugarcane, pear, pepper, tomatoes, our gold, our cocoa, our money. How do we add value that we store it down into the future and we don't spend it immediately? So they are very important. Timing is important. Laziness is something to actively confront and correct, not excuse. The ant don't give excuses. I wish I could get a colony of ants at this place as we are currently at His Majesty, so that I'll show you how busy they are going about their business gathering. Right now we are in the rainy season, so most of them will be hiding, spending, enjoying what they have stored up, because now they cannot actively go out and be what? Hunting for food, because we are in the rainy season and the rain can start at any time and it can wash them away and they will die. So even the ants knows timing. How much more we human beings? So it is very important we do what? We know timing. Saving is the act of not consuming part of your income right away, so you can use it later for what? Security. When we say security, I'm not talking about going to hire a security guard to come and protect you. No. The security here is financial security. It means that a time will come, what you have saved, what you have invested is what is going to take care of you in time of need, in time of want. Opportunities are going to come. Let me use this opportunity to say this. Now, in savings, there's 3 different types of savings, which I'll be talking later. In the opportunity of the savings, the money in one of the category that I'll be talking later, I don't want to mention it right now. In one of the category, a time is going to come, the money that you've saved in terms of leverage to take advantage of an opportunity that may be coming your way, that money that you have saved is the one that you'll be using to do what? to leverage the opportunity aside what you have invested. So there should be that money that you are saving in the saving management system. Now, that saving needs to be divided into 3 parts. One, for what? To take care of opportunity that will be showing up, or to take care of opportunity that will be coming up. So let's continue. When we get there, I'll talk more about it. So saving is the act of not consuming part of your salary right away, so that you can later use it, or use it later for opportunity, for security, and for goals. In simple terms, saving is equal to income minus spending. It's equal to the money you keep for the future use. That is paying yourself first. Paying yourself first is the money you do not spend. Paying yourself first is the money you do not spend. The key idea is to pay yourself first. Move money to savings before you spend on bills, food, fun, and any other thing. It takes time to build a very good financial strength, and you can only use what? Savings to do that. Just as it is equally to pay bills, just as it is equally important to spend, it is also equally important to do what? Save. Now, savings is not an investment. Saving is keeping and protecting it. There is difference between savings and there is difference between what? Investment. So if you have not listened to the saving aspect of the second episode, then go and listen to it. Then you come and listen to the savings. Or you can listen to the savings, then you go to the investment. Savings is required so that you can what? Invest. Savings is important, it's needed so that you can have money to do what? To do investments. Now let's look at some C's principles aside what we've said earlier on about ants. The C's keys to financial discipline. 1. Income inequalities is natural and expected. So it's part of the passage that we read in Matthew 25, verse 14 to 30, about the man that was going on a journey and he gave 5 bags of gold to one person, and the second person he gave 2 bags of gold, and the third person 1. And at the end of that passage, he said that he gave according to their ability. All of us are not going to have equal salaries or equal income, depending on the value we offer in the marketplace. Whether we like it or not, everybody is in the marketplace. You make money based on the value you bring in the marketplace. You are being paid based on the value you are offering in that company. You earn the money you are making based on what you are selling. You make money, or the money that comes to you is based on what you offer, what people pay you for. If you are a content creator, the money you are making is based on how many people are watching your content, the value you are bringing. So whether we like it or not, and we cannot get all the money equally. So some people will find themselves in one company, one position, but their salaries are different. One will take more than the other, but it doesn't mean that. So we need to have this in mind, that we will not all receive the same salary in monetary value. Each person's pay reflects their ability, skills, and talent, and the value they bring to the marketplace, I said earlier. So we need to have this in mind. So if your salary is low and you are not able to save big, then ask yourself, what value, what skill, how do I increase my value in the marketplace to earn more money? Number 2 key principle of financial discipline is what matters isn't how much money you make. It's not about how plenty money you make. It's about what you keep. So if you make 100,000 and somebody is making 10,000, at the end of the day, what matters is what each of them will keep. The 100,000 in some circumstances will think that yes, he has plenty money, so he has to buy this, buy that, buy this, and before you realize it is finished. And it doesn't even occur to that person in that situation that he has to save. But the person who earned 10,000 will think that, okay, I need to really what? Save, because I do not have much money. Now, somebody will be like, oh, I'm mentioning big money, so let me come to the low level income earners. You are earning between 600 and 1,000 Ghana cedis. In this kind of people category, scarcity is our problem. So we think that we do not have enough money, so we have to take care of a lot of things. So we end up spending. Or some too are so wise that they are able to keep something into the future. And the people who earn between 5,000 to 10,000, 20,000, they feel they have enough money, so they spend anyhow. And they don't save enough. In some circumstances too, some see that, okay, because I earn big, I need to what? Save big. So in this category, which one do you find yourself in? You can leave it in the comment section. So that it is very important, no matter how much money you make, it is important you keep some. So it's not about how much money you get, but it's about how much money you do what? You spend. It is not income size that determines what. It is what you do with what you keep, or what you have kept, what you have paid yourself first, that matters. So if you're out there and you are not paying yourself first, and you are paying other people, the cocoa seller, the rice seller, your tenants, your wife and children, the school fees, the house rent, you pay all these owners. The transportation, the driver, the taxi driver, the Uber driver, we pay all these people. We pay our network service providers, but you don't pay yourself. So number 3 is, my income is too small. My income is too small mindset is a trap. So this one falls between these people who says that their income is too small. Many believe that their income is too small to save and invest. So the real issue is usually the mindset. You need to move from my income is too small to save. In one of our videos, my mentor, Mr. Afo de Graft, says that even if it is 5 cedis, save it, keep it. Multiples of that 5 cedis you save from walking at a distance. Let's say you are going to Accra or you are going to work, and you could cover a certain walking distance on time and pick the last bus or taxi or Uber to your workplace to save that 5 cedis, do it. That airtime that you'll be buying, small, you could buy one-time mashup like what I do. I buy mashup, 29.99. That is almost 30 cedis. And they give me almost 540 minutes talking airtime. And it takes care of me for a whole month. You cut down unnecessary talking spending. So that money that you've been buying on raw airtime, 10 CD, in short time, within a day, it's finished. Save money on those things. Then let's go to number 4, key financial principle. On track spending hides the truth. Many don't track their expenses or where their money goes, so they assume their income is not enough. The guy who went to store, dug the ground and kept that 1 bag of gold thought that money is not enough. He cannot risk it by keeping it or by investing it. So he decided what? To dug ground and what? And hide it. And keep it the way it is. Number 5, key principle of financial discipline. Protect your savings and investment fearlessly, like the ant. The money that comes into your pocket, it is very important you keep some. You protect it. You save it. No amount of calls that will come from people, no amount of life circumstances that will hit on your door should make you spend that money. If you're a man out there, yes, it is very good you provide for the family, but I am telling you, store some money down for the future. Store some money there, because a season will come, it will consume what you have. Just like what was recorded in those days in the Bible, where the king dreamt that the lean cows, the small cows, are swallowing the what? The big cows. It is happening. What it means is that when the plenty season come, the abundant season come, a season is going to come that will absorb, will consume the plenty season. So what you have in plenty, you'll be spending it, you'll be consuming it, and before you realize, all will finish. And now that lean season will become like a very long decade, will become like 1,000 years before you. And in that season, that's when you hear people, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, God will do. Yes, it's good, God will do. Always there's a light at the end of the tunnel. What it means is that you did not properly save. I am a victim. When we sometimes get money, we spend it and not thinking and not looking back. That there's going to be a lean season that will do what? Will absorb the plenty. The last financial key principle is to put your savings to work. Like the two other people that had the money, the bag of gold, they put the money to work. They did not spend it. They did not recklessly spend it, but they invested it. So your savings, you invest with your banks in the financial market. Keep investment helps your money to beat inflation. So the money you are storing, you are keeping, you are paying yourself first, you have to do what? Invest it so that it can beat inflation. Avoid wastage. Avoid spending. Some will store during the plenty season and they'll spend it on occasion. From now going, I think from now going, there is going to be a lot of festive activities, festivals, community festivals, and we are entering into the end of the year. Christmas is coming. We will store and we'll spend it during the Christmas. Merrymaking. People are getting married. Some people's mindset is that they will save the money and spend everything on their marriage ceremony, forgetting that after the marriage, he and his wife will have to eat. So quickly, let's look at why savings from salary matters a lot, especially in Ghana. Number one, create an emergency fund. It is very, very important we save some money, we keep some money to handle surprises without borrowing at high interest. So it is very important we create an emergency fund so that during those emergency fund, we can do what? Fall on it. Number two, protect against inflation, which I said earlier. Every country and its inflation policy or inflation rates. In Ghana, our inflation can go very high because we do not produce a lot. We do not have enough industry that produce for an export. So inflation catches us at any time. Though at the time of this video that I'm recording, at least the inflation rate is in single digits, so it is okay. But how about other seasons? One government policy can mess up the economy. So we need to do what? Protect our finances so that our purchasing power today can still do what? Buy, or can still have that purchasing power to buy in the future. And that is by what? Savings and investments. So it is very important we do what? We save to give us freedom. If we save now in this decade, we can be able to take care of bills in the next decades. The children's school fees, bills, rents, all these things matters a lot. Number four reason is to reduce stress. If you have enough money and consciously you know you have money, it takes away about 99% of the stress that we go through. Many have hypertension, are sick psychologically just because they do not have money. So it reduces stress when we save money. Number 5 reason why we need to save money from our salary is to build wealth long term. So the money we keep, we save small, we can put it in compound interest, investments, and it will multiply for us. Why it is very important that we track our money and know where our money goes. We need to treat this topic in savings because if we don't track, we don't know where our money is going, it will be very difficult that we save money. So there are 6 reasons why it is very important we track our money. 1, you can't manage what you don't measure. So if you are not measuring your money, you don't know where your money is going. You don't know how much money you are earning. You don't know how much money you are spending on entertainment. You don't know how much money you are spending on food. You don't know how much money you are spending. If you don't do that budget tracking, it will be very difficult to do what? To save. So it is very important you do what? You know where your money is leaking to. Number 2, it reveals your real priorities. What are you prioritizing? Sometimes when we young guys, coming up, we think we need to stock our rooms with the latest television, the flat screen, the air condition, the sofa. At the end of the day, all those things we store there, or we end up storing in our room, do not give us money, but rather they take money out of our room. So those things that we are prioritizing to be important, at the end of the day, they don't what? Bring money into our pocket. So we end up spending patterns often expose the gap between what? Stated value and actual behavior. How you spend reveals your what? Your behavior. It is very important we track to prevent financial leakages and what? Fraud. Protecting your money guides against theft, scam. Some do not even track and they keep on stealing, especially some banks. They will be deducting some text message costs. Every message that they send to you, they deduct at the end of the month. There are some banks, even if you've not done any transaction, they still deduct. So you need to know where your money is leaking to. Just imagine one text message, how much it costs. And if about 100,000 people are saving in that bank, just multiply, if it is 0.1 Ghana cedi or $0.1, is multiplied against the number of people in that bank. Just see how much money the bank is making or stealing from the people or some institutions, or you are throwing away. Tracking enables intentional decision. If you know where your money is going, then you know what to stop by tracking it. Once you see the full picture, you can redirect money towards goals instead of letting it disappear into untracked category. Yes, there's some money we spend and we do not have the trace of where it went. Number 5, it builds long-term wealth. Like the ant storing provision, diligent tracking is how money actually gets saved instead of what? Flowing out as fast as it comes in. So you need to store, you need to save, you need to invest to build wealth. It reduces financial stress. So financial stress has come again. Knowing where you stand, remove anxiety and what? Uncertainty, and give you sense of what? Control. So if you know you store this amount of money, it gives you some hope. It takes away stress. Now let's come to how much money should you save. I'm sure some people will be interested in this one. So this is what my mentor taught me. 50-30-20 rule. 50-30-20 rule. But after learning from my mentor, this is what I have derived from his what? Rule that he gave me. And my rule is 50-20-20-10 rule. So 50 goes to wants, and 50 goes to needs. And this is must have, or this is a must keep rule. And the 50 goes to your rent, utility, food, transportation, school fees. These are compulsory bills that needs to take care of. And this is the management aspect of what? The financial management system. That is spending. which is another episode. So now let's go to the second rule, which talks about the 20%, which is want, lifestyle. That is eating out, buying data, clothing, entertainment. All these activities falls under the 20 for me. So the money I earn from at the end of the month, 50% goes to needs, 20% goes to wants, then the next 20% goes to what? Saving and investment. That is for future goal. Then the last percentage goes to what? Into insurance. Now, I don't want to go and take 10% from my 50%. So instead of making 30% wants, I have taken 10% from the 30% of what my mentor has taught me to what? To 10. So my 50 is compulsory spending. That one is non-negotiable. So I go to what? 20 for wants, 20 for savings, and 10 for what? Insurance. And these insurance take care of life insurance. I'll do another video and I'll teach more about insurance, or I and my mentor will do a video on the insurance. And this insurance falls under what? Risk management. It's not now that funeral has happened, somebody has died in the family, you now have to go and take your hard-earned money, or you go and borrow money from people with interest and be doing funeral. But you can manage risk, manage your life expenses like your health insurance, your hospital bills, your funeral bills, and even paying for debts. These 10% take care of it. So we will be looking into details how to manage that. So in today's savings, we are looking at that 20% that you have to save. That 20% is your saving target. That 20% in my rule is my saving and investment target. And that is today's episode. So how much is your 20% calculated? 20% times your salary that you are allocating for your what? Saving and investment. And that is where the emphasis is today. So let's look at something. Assuming your salary is 4,000. So I'm using 4,000 as an example. So what is your take home when the tax and everything is deducted? The last money that finally reflecting your bank account. When the bank has also taken your bank loan that you have taken from them. The leftover, the amount that when the phone beeps, peeping or cluck, cluck, that message that comes or that tone that comes, that you finally know that now the money has hit into the account, how you allocate it. So I'm taking just an average amount of money of 4,000 as salary. Now 4,000, when you multiply 50% of 4,000, it is 2,000. 50% of your 4,000 is 2,000. So meaning that the 2,000 out of the 4,000 compulsory is your spending, wise spending, and that is your what? Your needs. Some goes to rent, some goes to food, some goes to bills like electricity bill, water bills. Some people will be using network bills and all those things. That is your compulsory want, your school fees, your children's school fees. It falls under what? Needs. 50%. That one, whether you like it or not, it is for spending. Then we come to the 20% want. That is my rule. 50, 20, 20, 10 rule. So my 20 rule is want. So 20% of the 4,000 gives you 800. So 20% want goes to what? Which is the 800. Takes care of activities such as outing, going to buy, replacing your damaged shoes, like the sandals that I was wearing, it got damaged, so I'm compelled to go and do what? To go and buy one. I will not mention the price at which I bought it, but at the end of the day, that money takes care of what? Such impromptu emergencies. The want takes care of the restaurant that you have to go and eat, the outing, the nice things you see and you have to buy. But in this want, you can still control it, you can still save it, you can still beat down. Then we talk about the next 20%, we talk about savings, which is also what? 800 Ghana cedis. So out of the 4,000, 2,000 goes to what? The wants. The next 20%, which is the 8,000, goes to outing, shoes, or nice things you want to buy. So the second 20% goes to what? Which is 800, goes to what? Savings. And that is today's emphasis. Savings. Then the last 10%, which is 400. So 50% is 2,000. 20% of 4,000 is 800. Another 20%, which is savings, is 800. So now the 800 goes to investment. It is the money you keep. It is the money you save. So if you don't save, some people think that savings is not important, but if you don't save first, you cannot do investment. So the 800 out of the 4,000 is money you pay to yourself first. It's money that you allocate first before paying other people. Then you come to the 10%, which is the 400. So this is just a rough allocation that in case you fall in a category of take home 4,000, this is how you are supposed to allocate your money. And this is my rule: 50, 20, 20, 10 rule. 50% of want is your 2,000 out of the 4,000. 20% want is 800. That goes into what? Entertainment, shoes, nice things that you want to lavishly yourself. Then another 20% goes into savings, which is 800 in savings and investment, and 10% insurance goes as 400 Ghana cedis, takes care of this insurance risk management. So this is how you spend the money, or you allocate your money. So in a Ghanaian typical way, when you receive your salary, this is a rule that I am using to allocate my money. 2,000 for compulsory spending, taking care of the family, paying bills, food and all those things. 800 is put aside for emergency. Like yesterday, the gas got finished. We have to go and buy gas. Where do you get it from? From the 800, from that 20%. Though there's an allocated one for the bills. When it finishes, where do you fall? Now the month has kept. So the money that is allocated for that 20% wants, some of them will take care of some of these emergencies. You are cooking and your gas got finished. Where do you get the money? The month has kept and all the 50% is almost finished. So now you fall on the want. Then before you even start the spending, the 800 which is left out of the 4,000, which is the 20% for savings, that one is for investment. For things like keeping some, investing some into shares, stock, trustee, fixed deposit. That is how you allocate them. So what are some of the smart practical ways to save from your salary? One, automate. So if you are somebody who you know that you cannot control yourself by investing intentionally, then ask the bank to be what? Doing the deduction to go into your investment. Number two practical way to save from your salary is to pay yourself first. So automatically transfer. Then two, start small and build. That is on the 20% of savings. Start small. My mentor says that even if it is 5 cedis, it is important you save. Start accumulating the savings money, small. Do susu. This week, you will collect. And funny enough, this week, I'm the one collecting the susu that I'm doing. There's this susu I'm doing with my staff, and every week, each person is supposed to contribute 250 a week. So luckily, this week, I am collecting the money, and I think we are about 4 people. So when we collect this 250, so if I also add my money, it's 1,000 flat. So that susu money, that 1,000, some will go into our investment, some will take care of emergencies. So it's good you do susu. Susu means, in Ghana, when we say susu, it means that you contribute small money into a pool, a group of people coming together, contributing money into a pool. One person will take it weekly or monthly. Then when it gets to your turn, you get that accumulated amount of money. Or personally, you can also do susu. Weekly, you'll be putting it down. So it is very important we do what? You start small and accumulate. Then you use high return options savings. What are some of these high earning savings? One, treasure bill, mutual funds, fixed deposit, and susu has also come here. If you know you cannot keep the money with you in the house, go and register with what? Susu companies like Romeo, their company, and save with them. At the end of the month, if you want your money, they'll give it to you. Now, after getting that accumulated savings, you now can put it into what? Investment, like treasure bill, trustee, fixed deposit, money mutual fund, buy stocks. Then the last one, the practical way to save money from your salary is to track and review. In the first 20%, there are some in the want column. There are some things, if you think you do not need to spend money, the money that you need to buy for, you have allocated for shoe and outing and outfit fashion, you can redirect that money into what? Into savings. So that is what it means. Use simple apps like Expenses Manager or Notebook Excel to use it to see where your money or track where your money is going and cut small, review, recut some of the want and reuse it to boost your savings. Use it to boost your savings. Now, let's talk about, as that is the last option that we are coming to talk about. There is something called savings allocation. And this is why I am coming to put emphasis on the importance of savings. Just as investment is also important, savings is also important. There are some money you don't spend them, you keep them. And I'll show you where you can keep them. And it will not lose its purchasing power. It will not lose its purchasing power, or inflation will not spoil it for you. So when we say savings allocation refers to the process of dividing your income or portion of it among different financial priorities, such as saving for emergency, long-term and short-term and long-term goals. Financial goals. Now, I have mentioned 3 things here. 1, for emergency. 2, short-term and long-term. Savings allocation. So the 20% per the rule that I am giving or I am using, that 20% that you save, how to allocate it is what I'm talking about. And that is what I am talking about as savings allocation. Now, when you receive your salary, that 20% that comes, the 800, this is how to allocate it. And that is what I define by savings allocation. So you define it into three categories: emergency fund, short-term fund, and long-term fund. What does this, or what is the importance of these 3 savings allocation? 1, the savings take care of what? Emergency savings or emergency issues. So the emergency fund takes care of emergency issues. So this is money that you allocate that should be able to take care of you for the next 6 months in case you lose your job. So 3 to 6 months in case you lose your job, this is the emergency fund should be able to equally take care of you, just like you are receiving your salary. So it is a fund, emergency fund that you need to really build. And most of us, we don't build it. Some years back, I was not building it. But after I have learned this from my mentor, it is very important I build it. These are when emergency issues happen, like medical bills, that you cannot go to the bank to go and withdraw from your health insurance, that you cannot go and withdraw from your health insurer, to come and pay the hospital bills. This emergency fund take care of these things. So the second investing or savings allocation, the second savings allocation is short-term. Short-term investment category that I have defined is the money out of that 800, you allocate a percentage to what? Emergency. So maybe you'll be storing 200 Ghana cedis in what? In that emergency fund. Then another 200 for short term. And all this money should have investment money market that you are putting them, that you can easily access them. I'll be mentioning some of the financial institutions that you can be keeping those money. So this short term fund, another 200. So we've taken first 200 from the 800, it left with how much? 600, right? We've taken another 200 again, it left with 400. So these 200 that we have taken should go to a short-term fund. Now, this short-term fund should take care of opportunities. It's money that you don't spend. It's money that when opportunities pop up, financial opportunities like an investment, land buying, let me put it, a car buying, yes, or buying assets. Like the example you heard that somebody is selling a company. I'm not saying 200 Ghana cedis can buy a company, but these are savings that you are allocating, you are accumulating down to a huge money that when you hear that there's a land opportunity somewhere, you buy it. There's a business opportunity, you buy it. There's an investment opportunity, you buy it. One of Dangote's best friend called, is it Ofemi or so? I've forgotten the right name, but it's called Femi. When Dangote decided to go public with his refinery, privately, this guy said that he has shares in a certain company and he's taking a percentage of that shares from that company to come and invest privately in Dangote's refinery IPO. So assuming that guy has not done that savings in those companies, where is he going to get that money? Over billions, I think over 40 billion. He's investing about 40 billion or 40 million into that company. I don't know, but I've forgotten the figure. I just read it somewhere. But the most important message I want to send across is that you need to allocate some money down somewhere that you don't spend. That money are meant for opportunities. Like some time ago, we heard that they were selling a land somewhere. So that money are meant for leveraging opportunities. Let me use the word leveraging. There's a restaurant you've heard that is collapsing. You use it to buy it. There's a house somebody is moving out, is traveling, and you want to sell his property. You use that money to buy it. I'm using 200 because that is probably my financial strength. What is your financial strength that you can allocate that money that will be multiplied? It will build big so that when opportunity comes, you can leverage it. So it is very important we allocate some money for a short term. Those are for opportunities, leveraging financial opportunity, investment opportunities. I took my time to explain so that you know that when you allocate some money for savings, in the savings allocation, you need to take care of emergency issues. Then 2, opportunities. Then the last one for long term, this is the 400 that is left, or what percentage that you have allocated, that 400 that is left, which I'll call 60%, right? Because 20% is will be the 200, another 20% will be the 200, then the 60% is the what? Is the 400 Ghana cedis. And this is the money that goes to compulsory investment, high yield investment, like trustee, like stocks or shares, fixed deposit, treasure bills. These are all money that goes into businesses. Example, you are into cosmetic business, because my wife and I, we are into cosmetic business. So we invest into the business to generate more money so that we can get some money and allocate into what? Into investments. So these are investments, or you invest into the financial market, or the second 20%, which is short term, you invest that money into businesses that will be giving you money daily, leveraging. Then the long term one, that one goes into shares, because it takes decades to do what? To make money. So the people who bought the Kasapreku shares, so assuming I've been able to allocate money, now I could buy the Kasapreku shares. Now Kasapreku shares was listed and started trading at 1 cedi 20 pesos. As at yesterday, when the market closed, 1 cedi 92 pesos. 1 cedi 92 pesos. So the people who bought it at 1 cedi 20 pesos have made some money in points. So let's see quickly. 1 cedi 20 pesos minus 1 cedi 92 pesos. So those people who bought it at 1 cedi 20 pesos and traded and closed the market at 1 cedi 92 pesos have made a profit of 0.72. So assuming 0.72 times the number of shares you have. How many shares do you have? Let's say you have 2,000 minimum. 2,000 shares. Your money is now 1,440 Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, you bought it at 1 cedi 20 pesos times 2,000 shares. That is 2,400. So yesterday, as at yesterday, those people who invested, the profit that came on it, that is 0.72, have made 1,440 Ghana cedis on their 2,400. Almost half. Cool money. So this is what we are talking about. So that is why it is very important you invest money or you save money and allocate the money into three parts. One, for emergency. Two, for short-term opportunities or opportunities that will be coming. For leveraging. So emergency, leveraging, and what? Investment. It is very important. It's not how much money you earn, but how much money you save and allocate. Where your money is going. Which processes are multiplying your money? Which processes are increasing your money, are multiplying your money? Today, if Dangote decide to list his IPO, which it will be very soon. I don't know when I'm going to upload this video. Maybe in 3 weeks' time. When he lists his IPO right now on Ghana Stock Exchange, which I am hearing that he is going to list his company in some Africa countries, their stock exchange, like Kenya, Malawi, South Africa, or Ghana. So those countries that will be lucky and Dangote will be listing his IPO on those platforms, on those exchanges. What money are you going to use it to buy it? Because you've just bought Kasapreku. So it is the opportunity money, the leveraging savings allocation is where you're going to pick that money to invest in those IPOs. So now, what are some of the companies that you can invest this emergency fund? One, these companies have not asked me to advertise for them, but for the purpose of teaching, that's why I mentioned them. You might be asking me in the comment section. So some of these companies is one, Zenith Bank. There's an investment, short-term investment called Ziza. I think the interest rate per annum is 6%. As at the time I'm recording this video, is 6%. So you can put that emergency fund there. Stanbic Bank have this trust fund called trust fund or investment called trust fund. You can put your money there. Data Bank, you can put your money there. IC Liquidity, you can put your money there. That is IC Wealth. Your bank, fixed deposit. But normally these fixed deposits, they are from a time frame. Some between 6 months to 5 years. So I will not recommend that one for this emergency. In terms of long-term opportunities is to buy shares or put it in trustee. Trustee is with enterprise insurance and the interest rate is way better than treasure bill. Treasure bill too is also another form, but we have the 3 months, 91 days and 364 days. These are financial vehicles that you can put your money. Another aspect of the savings you can also do, savings allocation you can do is to put it into your business to multiply. Buying and selling business or manufacturing business. And you know that when you produce, when you buy your goods, you can sell it within a week. We can sell it within a month and get some profit on it. I think last month, I even borrowed money from MTN and they were able to give me an amount of 3,500. I invested it into the cosmetics. We bought 1.5 box and we sold it and we had a profit of 800 Ghana cedis. So that is quick short-term leveraging. I got the money back and I paid MTN and I had my 800 on it within 1 month. So these are opportunities that you can be leveraging. I am teaching these things because me, myself, I am practicing them. Last, I told you I am in the recovery mode because I have made financial mistakes just because I do not have much knowledge. So I made those mistakes. Now I know them now by the help of my mentor. So I have put structures, system, tools in place to track my money, save my money, and invest my money. I go out there to go and work. I am an employer. I have my employer. I work for 8 hours. But when I come home, what do? I have to work. I have to sell. I have to produce content. The money I get, how do I allocate it? I take care of my family. That is the 50%. I have wants. I have to take care of my family wants. I have to allocate some for savings. I have to invest some for future. And in the savings, I have to take care of emergency too. I have to take care of opportunities, leveraging opportunities. And lastly, I have to also invest in the financial market to multiply, to take care of. So what the discussion I was having with Paul is that if you don't take care of this decade, you don't save and invest in this decade, in your 20s, in your teens, it will be difficult to take care of in your 20s. If you don't take care of If you don't save in your 20s and invest in your 20s, it will be difficult to take care of yourself in your 30s. If you don't save and invest in your 30s, it will be difficult for you to do what? Take care of your 40s, and on it goes. So in your 40s too, it will be difficult. If you don't do something, it will be difficult for you to take care of yourself in your 50s. So it is very important you take care of yourself in decades. You will save and invest in decades. So in your 50s, if you don't save and leverage, at that time, there will be health challenges. You are not physically strong like in your 20s. So what you did in your 40s will not take care of your 50s. What you did in your 50s will not take care of in your 50s. What you did in your 50s will not take care of yourself in your 60s. Then you've hit your retirement. Your employer will shake hand with you. We appreciate your time you have spent with us. The value you have brought has come to an end. Please pack your things and go home. The money SNIT will be paying to you, or your retirement benefit, how long is it going to take care of you? Simple calculation. Just divide how much you spend in a month by the lump sum that will be paid to you. Then you know how long that money is going to last. So I want to use this opportunity to end and thank my followers, my viewers. If you have any question as far as saving is concerned, put it in the comment section. Follow us for more video. See you in our next episode.